How's it going? I know it's late, but hey, probably watching me in your bed right now as you're watching your phone. But hey, it's another episode of Dynasty Pylon. I know it's a little bit late. Unfortunately, some events happen. Mark isn't here today. Obviously, I'm here again by myself, but it's all good. Mark is still unfortunately working for the Nazis. Hopefully, even though he asked for Wednesdays, unfortunately, like I said, he works for the Nazis and they don't let him off anyways. But today, I'm just going to give a little shout out about what to do about your dynasty draft coming up. I know it is dynasty season, it is redraft season, it is draft season in general. People are doing mock drafts, people are getting their drafts done already, rookie drafts, all that. Everything that has to do with fantasy football is now coming to a closure within the next month, and then September is kickoff. But for us dynasty players, it's already season. We might actually start having our official first game tomorrow, and we can actually start looking at who to pick up in the waiver wire. Again, depending on your commish and how you guys actually do it. And what's a hell of an intro? Yeah, man. It's a bit late, but it's all good. I still brought you a show. But anyways, like I said, so I had my draft on Saturday. So I actually am going to show you what I did to prepare for that draft. You can actually do this yourself if you're in a dynasty league. I'm in a dynasty IDP league, so it's a little different from your typical dynasty drafts. Ours involves a little bit of defense. If you don't like defense, tell your commish, hey, switch over to IDP. That is where it's at. I'm telling you, nothing is more fun watching offense and defense, and better yet, your linebacker versus your running back. It's double points, dude. Like your running back running into your linebacker, you get a point from him making a tackle. It's the best thing ever. But um, taking notes. What's up, man? Will, yeah, for sure. I think this is you're gonna be your third year. You're pretty new to the game, so definitely. But so let me show you what I did to prepare for my draft. Now I know if you're watching this later and you're gonna say, "Oh, but Martin, you already did your draft, so how is this gonna be predicted to what you're doing now?" Look, either before or after my draft, this doesn't matter. This tip still works. But this is what I have here. Basically, it is my dynasty board that I did before my draft. So you kind of as you can see, there's a big block at the bottom with a bunch of big key players, and then at the top is a bunch of rookies. What I like to do is, I know this takes a little bit of time to set up, but if you have the time to do it, I mean, you got basically from what, March till June, maybe May, depending on when when you guys do your draft. I mean, I guess the earliest to April, but I mean, if you do your rookie draft by April, then that's insane because that's basically kind of guessing on where you think these guys are going to do good or not. I like to typically go do my dynasty drafts in July, kind of when camp opens. So what I did is at the bottom here, I kind of put all of what my team and my league mates team on the bottom, who they already have and who they're bringing to the future as we go into the final into this next season. You can do a pre-draft for yourself, like a mock draft, on who do you think they may or may not get. Now, as you see, um, I predicted Trevor Lawrence going first, only because you also have to look at your plan ahead. Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to look at who you're taking. Like I said, you have to know your league mates. My bad. Sorry, tongue twisted here. Learn your league mates. If you're going into your first draft with them, you probably don't know them very well, but learn them, study them, talk to them. Or if you don't even have to know them, but if you have to look at their roster. And clearly, I saw this first person only had Tua, so I kind of figured that they would probably go with a quarterback first round, as I see that they had CEH, Raheem Mostert, and Marlon Mack at the get go. So I thought that they would probably pick up a QB first round, as Trevor Lawrence was one of the top three predicted. So I predicted that they would go Trevor Lawrence first. I did not finish my board. I didn't have that much time, but I really wanted to focus on the first 3 rounds. Um, and then Najee Harris obviously is going to go the first 2 picks. I saw that this individual only had 2 running backs, Damian Harris and David Johnson. Uh, yeah, you're really low on running backs. Why not? I think that they would probably go Najee Harris as their number 1 pick. And then, so this individual is a hardcore Denver fan. He does this time and time, year after year. I see him pick up Denver people. I also saw that his running backs are low. He probably only has 2 running backs that are good. Chris Carson in a dynasty league isn't that high of a valued player anymore, only because he's on the back end of his career. He gets injured a lot. So you might actually start thinking about a younger running back. So that's what I thought, that maybe they would go running back. And also because I thought that because he is a Denver Broncos fan, I predicted that he would get Javonte Williams as his first pick. And then I also kind of figured, I talked to my league mates, I learned them, and this individual loves running backs. And he kind of said that I might go running back first, but you can always talk to them, see what they kind of hint to you. But again, do this after or before, and like before your draft, and kind of see what they're gonna do. But I will show you my results, and it's pretty crazy how close this is. As I kind of predicted, almost identical, maybe minor adjustments on the players, but this was our actual draft results, and I was pretty close. Um, as I saw, uh, so what we do is a 1 QB league. Before the draft, 7 weeks prior, we cut 7 people. We have 7 picks. Almost, it's a keeper slash dynasty. There is no round penalty, so that's where you keep the dynasty aspect of it. You keep those individual guys at where you drafted them. So this is why I kind of did this dynasty slash keeper, but it's more towards the dynasty as we added taxi squad. So before your draft, you can probably predict on who or where you're going to get. This was the draft results. Um, but before then, I kind of, like I said, above it, I have what I think people were gonna get. And as you can see, it might be a little different, but it's almost similar. I kind of looked at who they had and what they needed. Now, it's always hard to predict what they're gonna get, and also draft picks get traded during your draft. So things kind of change as you go into the draft, and then you can't always predict what they're going to do, but you can try and predict what they're going to draft. So as I predicted, the first 5 I nailed, and then I actually the 6. I did not predict that they were going to get Joey Bosa. As I said, we do a cut. We cut 7 people before our draft. And that way you could renew it with your 7 draft picks. If you don't have 7 picks, well, then I guess you're gonna have to wait for the waiver wire. But someone cut Joey Bosa, and actually that was Mark. He was a little bummed out about it. He didn't realize that Joey Bosa had the dual eligibility of linebacker and defensive line. So he was really bummed out about that. I think we mentioned that 2-3 weeks ago. As you can see, he forgot or didn't realize it. But this individual drafted Joey Bosa in the first round. I thought he was going to go Jamar Chase, just because of his receivers that he had already. I kind of predicted that maybe he probably would have gotten someone. I got a high stellar receiver that we know who's going to be a good receiver right off the bat. So I predicted Jamar Chase. Unfortunately, he went with Joey Bosa, but I guess Joey Bosa in an IDP league is definitely for sure a fire sale. Like, he's good. And then I got who I needed in the first. This is I got Justin Fields. I'm happy about that. And then if you look at the results, I actually ended up getting my first 3 round picks. Kind of, sort of. I kind of wanted Chuba Hubbard, but as you see, I only got. I'm right underneath the victorious one, which was about 8th pick underneath. I tried to get Chuba Hubbard. I ended up with Kenneth Gainwell, but it's okay because I have Miles Sanders. it's a good handcuff to have. But this is what I kind of do before a draft. If you do your dynasty draft, try and predict what you think you can land. Uh, See what and kind of create a tier based on who you could probably try and draft. Um, as you can see, some of these are a little off. I lost Dallas Goedert. I had to cut him. It was either cut Dallas Goedert or cut Michael Pittman. I chose Michael Pittman over Dallas Goedert. I did not get him back. Someone in the first team did, as you can see, as he went in the 201. But I did have the 202, and I ended up getting Micah Parsons, who I think is going to be a really good linebacker for years to come. If you want, you can watch in our last two episodes. I think we did a coverage of the linebackers, and he was my number one, second to Nick Bolton. Surprisingly, Nick Bolton wasn't drafted. Actually, he ended up picking up. They're probably gonna pick up on waivers. Uh, if not, they already have picked them up on waivers. But uh, yeah, Nick Bolton wasn't drafted. It was really weird, especially for IDP. Stash him in your taxi squad if you have it. But as I said, some of these players are almost key, and I nailed some of these are a little different. Let's see, right after, like I said, the Kenneth Gainwell pick, I wanted Chuba Hubbard, who is a backup to Christian McCaffrey, and then I tried to predict maybe Brian Burns, but ended up getting Kwity Paye, who's same position, just a rookie. Um, so so yeah, you could do this before your drafts, kind of predict who you think you're gonna get, uh, kind of predict a little prediction. But hey, that's basically that my tip before your dynasty draft. See if you get who you got or who ended up getting or try to get. So I got my first two picks for sure. It was Justin Fields and Micah Parsons, so I'm a little happy about that. A little bit of offense. I probably won't use Justin Fields this season, only because I have Josh Allen and Dak Prescott, as you see here, so I might just bench him. But if bye weeks do come to occur, I might have to figure that out. But some of these guys have to. It's your bye weeks. Your bye weeks are going to screw you over in your dynasty leagues. Be sure you check that out. Go into your draft, keep account for your bye weeks. As I see, some of these individuals have to make some moves before those bye weeks come. That's just something we don't really, that's kind of like we put on the back burner before we go into drafts. And then you look at your team and then you realize, oh crap, they're on the same bye week. So it just happens and it's all right. So other than that, um, it's football season starting tomorrow. Preseason, we got the Hall of Fame game that is with the Cowboys and Steelers. I'm excited. This is a time for us dynasty players to look at who the backups are to your starters. Get those handcuffs, especially if you do IDP. You can look at the defensive side of things as well. Here's who we probably won't see tomorrow. Don't expect Dak Prescott, as a lot of people are kind of questioning his ankle with his ACL or whatnot, or the MCL. So yeah, as we saw his ankle kind of break. So if you didn't see that, I'm pretty sure you can look that up. It's pretty gross. But and then also he had a shoulder minor injury. I'm not too worried about it, but I think he'll be fine by opener. And also, so let's see. Yeah, definitely. It was gross. Look it up, man. It's for sure kind of gross. It was just kind of just dangling there. But actually, he was actually pretty cool about it. So I guess he cried on his way out and probably hollered and screamed as he was behind out of visual sight. But anyways, don't expect Dak to play tomorrow. I think they're gonna kind of keep him. I know that you might end up seeing Garrett Gilbert. Cooper Rush is still there, and Little Ben, who I like to call, is the Ben DiNucci. So they'll probably end up throwing tomorrow. I don't think that Micah Parsons will probably play a whole lot. I mean, he is a rookie, but so might get him a little chance as an opener. But who knows? So we'll see. Hopefully these guys have a safe, clean game. No one gets injured. as we still predict on who we're going to keep into the dynasty leagues, and we don't have to worry about future injuries. I think Cowboys and Steelers are going to be the only team that has 4 weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're going to have the only team that's going to have 4 weeks, as the preseason went from 4 weeks to 3 weeks. So yeah, that should be interesting. Um, Hopefully the Cowboys can have a better season coming in. It's going to be 17 weeks. I mean, last season they only went 6-10. So, uh, and then we have, I know who won't show up. There's Dak. You won't have Zach Martin. You won't have Tyron Smith or tackle. Amari Cooper won't be there, and Demarcus Lawrence will not be there. I think they are going to stay in California and just not play. Uh, Better safe than sorry. Um, with the Hall of Fame game, are injuries something to worry about, and how much? Oh yeah, it's definitely something to worry about, especially in Dynasty. I mean, if it, like for instance, Carson Wentz just got injured, predicting that he's going to be out for 5 to 10, 12 weeks. So in Dynasty leagues, if you have Carson Wentz as your QB, you might actually look into Jason Eason as their backup. See if you can pick them up on waivers, or see if someone else is on waivers, or trade for somebody. That's definitely something that you want to worry about, because that's going to affect your roster lineup going into the season. Because 5 to 12 weeks, that could be almost until September. We don't even know. That's at least a month minimum for sure. Maybe 2 to 3. We don't know, depending on how his injuries, how bad they are. So, and then Steelers tomorrow, we could potentially see Big Ben maybe throw. I hope not. But he's entering his 18th season, so I know they had that 11-0 slump. They went 11-0 and then just absolutely died. So hopefully they did some corrections. I know Najee Harris is definitely their biggest addition. He's going to be working a lot. So he's going to be their workhorse behind that questionable line. Is he still going to work? Is he still going to be there? Heck yeah. I heard. So I heard Big Ben is eating better, trying to finish his career off strong in some. Yeah, no, that I also heard that. Um, I mean, he's up in age, so he's been in the league for as long as I remember watching football. So, which is funny because I've been doing fantasy football for 18 years. So his rookie year was my first year of doing fantasy football. So that's kind of funny that he's been there this entire time. And surprisingly, I think I only drafted him once this entire time. But definitely kind of a cool thing. His career is as long as my fantasy career, but hey, that's him being as a pro. 18, yeah, that's a very long time for sure. Def come for you for advice. Thanks, man, for sure. Um, I I mean I don't say I'm the best, but I know I don't fall under fifth place. I can definitely claim that a couple years more, a handful of years actually. I think I've lost maybe once or twice, but nah. So anyways, tomorrow it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be probably 6 Pacific Time, will be the Hall of Fame game. I'm not sure exactly which network it is. I apologize, but I'm sure if you just look for it and look it up, I'm sure it'll tell us what network it is. But at least I gave you the time. It starts at 6 Pacific Time and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's tomorrow. We expect to see Calvin Johnson, John Lynch, Peyton Manning, Bill Nunn, Drew Pearson, and Charles Woodson as being inducted into the Hall of Fame. As I said, tomorrow is the Hall of Fame game. So definitely something you want to watch. I mean, what are you doing better on your Thursday nights? If you're not watching it, I hope it's something important. But it's football. It's the American sport. We love it. I enjoy it. It's basically the reason why I have these shows. But football, I love the sport. So again, uh, it's a big part of my channel. It's a big part of the Nerd Huddle, And speaking of the Nerd Huddle, tomorrow they are holding a draft party. So if you want to watch it with us, I'm still not sure if I will be there, but tomorrow we will be doing a small kind of gathering. I'm not sure exactly who's going to be, but I know for sure Tank will be there, and just kind of watch the game together, kind of comment on the game together, and see these new incoming rookies. Um, and yeah, so tomorrow, again Thursday, again at 6 Pacific and 8 Eastern. We're having a watch party uh, here on the Nerd Huddle Network on that channel. So go ahead, check them out. But it's not on my channel. This is the Dynasty Pylon, but I am part of them. So go ahead, give it a look. I will try and make it. And just to comment on what stupidity things we got saying and predictions what we're going to say and do on the upcoming season that's coming up. I'm so excited. Again, we have a month worth of draft season. If you're in redraft leagues, Dynasty, it's coming. You're pretty sure you're probably already drafted or probably are drafting right now as we come up in these next coming seasons. So what up, Anthony? That's my boy right there. He is from the Get Right Fantasy Networks. They are doing Friday nights mock draft still until the season starts. So, again, that's the Get Right Fantasy boys over there. Check them out if you want. Every Friday, they are doing their mock drafts as well. So, again, tomorrow, Nerd Huddle is doing their watch party. If you want comments on and watch with them as you watch the game tomorrow, and just kind of hang out with us, hang out with them if I don't make it. But anyways, yeah, it's a little tip of tricks on your dynasty league kind of pre-draft before you go into your draft. You can try and do a mock draft of yourself, and then just kind of hopefully you get who you have, because I did it and I ended up with the first 2 picks that I wanted, which is Justin Fields and Micah Parsons. So I'm happy. So anyways, that is it. It's a short show. Hopefully Mark will be with me next week, as we will bring more Dynasty fantasy football news, and we'll probably cover a little bit more into the preseason, which I am so excited. Football is here, y'all. It is here. It is football season. I'm so excited. So anyways, good evening, good morning, good night, wherever the hell you're at. Missy Mark gonna pour some for the homies, exactly. But yeah, like I said, wherever the hell you're at watching this, take care. I'll see you next week, Wednesday, and good luck in your drafts. Good luck in everything that you're doing, and I hope that you get a good, solid team to get another championship. Can't argue with championships. They're the best. It's bragging rights, and if you win money, more power to you. So, good night, guys.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate.